Podcast. We're your guest co-hosts, Francisco and Baylor here, back with another episode. We got a good one here today. Looking forward to sharing some stuff with you guys. We have DeWayne Taylor here with us. Get some of his thoughts, his story. I'm kind of hear about what he does, and then Francisco and I will kind of just ramble on a little bit about some things going on in the basketball world. So let's get into it. Obviously, we got DeWayne Taylor here. Really appreciate you being here with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So kind of just want to hear your story. Obviously, starting off with, obviously you're an MC, which requires a lot of talking, putting yourself out there. So like, when did you know that like you kind of had a voice?
Ooh, I would say high school. My sophomore year, I was kind of pulled onto the speaking and debate team. If y'all are familiar with kind of some of that.
Yeah.
So it was specifically the speaking part, not the debating part. But my oral comm teacher was like, you got to try it. You got to try it. So I tried it, turned out to be pretty good at it. And it wasn't until after that year that colleges started talking to me that I realized that there was like, this could be a career. I can do something with this and help impact my community and also, make a future for myself.
For sure. Well, where are you from originally?
St. Louis.
Okay.
Yeah, from St. Louis, but I've been in Lincoln, Nebraska for 12 years now.
Okay. So another question: was there a stepping stone before Husker, Big Ten, CWS? Like, just kind of talk us through the process that you went through.
Man, I would tell everyone to do kind of this process if they're at a young age, right? If there's a young future broadcaster or podcaster, personality. I started with speech and debate, right? I started learning the foundations of speaking. How do you breathe? How do you stand in front of a room confidently without being shaky? How can you mess up and continue to walk forward? It's all those little things that then prepare us for moments like this where we can just really riff off each other and hang out. So, like I said, I started in high school, did speech and debate, got recruited to the University of Nebraska to compete for their speech and debate team. We won the first Big Ten championship of the Big Ten entrance for Nebraska. From there, different organizations started seeing me speaking out in public. I did a TED Talk in 2012. That really helped launch my career. And after a certain amount of events, someone from the Huskers saw me, asked me to audition for an opportunity to be the PA announcer for the women's team, women's basketball team. And I auditioned for that, and they said, hey, there's actually a spot open as an MC. We've never had an MC. Feel like you might fit that. I was like, well, just so happen I just have to be an MC, man. I don't know what to tell you. So I hopped into the spot, and I've loved it ever since. But while I was there, someone from the Big Ten was asking for recommendations for an MC for the Big Ten baseball tournament while someone was getting married. So it was just a little interim position, but I hopped in and filled that. And they shortly after vacated their spot. I was in there for a while, and I don't know how the connection with the NCAA happened to do the Men's College World Series, but somehow that connection was made, and they reached out to me and asked me to come through, and that was 3 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since.
Wow, that's great. So you've been emceeing for the College World Series for 3 years now.
3 years.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that was going to be my next question: is how you got the job for the College World Series. But no, that's dope. So you can get recruited for speech and debate. Going to college. Okay, see, that's interesting because like. Obviously, we play basketball and like recruiting and whatnot for sports and whatnot. But obviously, you don't think of speech and debate as being recruited, at least in my terms. So that's dope. I didn't know that. So
and I didn't really think it was, man. And to be honest with y'all, like I didn't think about college. Like that's not something that I considered as even a possibility for my life. And when I learned that this little fun thing that I was doing, where I was traveling around the country speaking, could get me into a college where I could hang out with the likes of you all athletes and meet other like-minded individuals that are wanting to grow. It's like, why not? And hey, y'all are gonna pay for it? I'll do it.
Okay, so Omaha and Lincoln, two different cities, not very far from each other. What parts are better in each city than the other?
Oh, this is tough. I'd say the close-knit community in Lincoln is awesome. So I'm from St. Louis, like I said, and everything is so separate. Right, you kind of have to live your own life. It's a big city, don't mingle in other people's business. The cool thing that I like about Lincoln is that it's purposefully progressive. So you can live your own life, you can be your own person, but you're going to be a part of the community, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
It's just the size of it. When you come to Omaha, there's a little freedom to stretch out.
Mhm.
So, I can come hang out with you all one day. Not that I'm into motorcycles, but then I can go to the motorcycle club the next day. And it's completely two separate audiences that won't know anything about each other. And I can immerse myself in both without them crossing over.
That's
In Lincoln,
awesome.
it's not necessarily the same thing, but those both have their pros and cons.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So obviously you've been doing the MC for College World Series for 3 years now. Who are some of like the top players you've seen through your time at the College World Series?
Oh man, well we got to talk about this year.
Yeah.
This is some of the best play that I've seen.
Yeah.
I kid you not. And I think being able to watch Skeens play has been a blessing.
Yeah.
Like, because again, I have to be honest, I wasn't completely immersed in the sports world because I was a speaking guy, right?
Yeah.
You think of the nerds in speech and debate, right? I was one of those guys, and there's nothing wrong. Everyone's got the stereotypes, but I really had to start to learn, what are these athletes like? What are some of their stories, and who are standout stars? And I know I've been looking at Skeens for a minute now, and to be able to watch him on this stage, I know that I'm getting a treat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's been great. He's been dominating. I mean, yesterday's game was crazy.
Yeah.
That was just crazy. Some
Yeah.
really good baseball being played for
Yeah.
sure. Both sides.
Yeah.
So.
Do you talking about sports? Did you grow up playing any sports at all?
No, I did
Nothing?
boxing, but that was
Okay.
it. And it wasn't
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. Out of all the
Boxing,
things,
yeah.
but in the community that I grew up in, if there were arguments in the street and things like that, and the kids started to fight, the police officers would give us gloves. It was like, hey, let's not get this too violent.
Yeah.
Let's actually turn this into something productive. So they give us gloves and they lead us to the local boxing gym. And the people would solve the differences there, but it was more than that. You all know, as athletes, it's about developing discipline, developing self-control of your emotions, and finding healthy ways to output them. So that was the sport. And then I stayed away from sports until I hopped into high school. I did track for a little bit, but I was a theater kid. I did theater and I did speech. So it's a little different there.
Yeah.
100%.
So talked about your favorite player basically right now.
Yeah.
Which one is your favorite team in college?
Ooh.
You can have
Are you allowed
different
to
ones
say
for
that?
different
I don't know.
sports.
Well, I guess I'll do the disclaimer thing. All views expressed, unless explicitly stated, are mine as an individual. With that being said, I really, really enjoy the heart of Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah, man. The Volunteers, every time I run into their fan base, it's always such great love. The parents and the families of the players I've really connected with really well. And they play hard, right?
Yeah.
You can't ask for anything
Yeah.
anything much more than that, regardless of the outcome.
For sure. Well, I mean, I'm assuming the next question will be the same answer then. Your favorite team to MC for? Probably Tennessee as well.
Yeah, well, I guess it's MC for the Huskers too.
Yeah.
The energy there, is direct. I don't MC for Tennessee directly,
Gotcha.
so I would say favorite team to directly MC for is the Huskers, because I MC for them.
Do you do every sport for them? Like, what sports do you do?
Men's and women's basketball, men and women's gymnastics, and then random commercials that they might need filled.
Gotcha.
Okay. Going back to CWS, best moment, best memory you have so far of the College World Series?
Oh, that's a tough one, man, because a lot of the moments that I get to experience are people's reactions and how people feel in moments. Like last night,
Yeah.
That was a moment, man. I'm sitting in the middle of section 111, and that walk-off homer hits, and you hear the and being in that environment. Usually, let's say you're watching a basketball game, right? When someone throws up a three, that doesn't last that long, right? The ball doesn't have to travel that far. It doesn't travel hundreds of feet. But in baseball, it's and people are the whole way up, and then as soon as it crosses, it's like they develop another set of lungs, and it's that is magical that sport can elicit such emotions from people, and that's where a lot of my energy and focus goes, and a lot of my admiration for the sport, because not only do the fans have to have persistence to show up often enough for these teams that they kind of get familiar and get used to the fan base and can kind of lean on the fan base a little bit. You all know how that goes.
Yeah.
But it's also phenomenal to me that the players develop their skills to such a level that the fans enjoy watching. It's easy to get to a level where you say, okay, well, now I'm good compared to everyone else. I'm just going to relax. Well, no, how about being good to the level that the people that are used to watching good still enjoy watching you?
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So, looking forward to these next, few years for you. What are you looking forward to in your journey continuing with emceeing?
I really just want to make people feel comfortable. I think that's my major goal is when people see me on a stage or they see me coming to an event, I want them to go, "Oh, DeWayne's there. Okay, we're gonna be all right. We get to hang out.
Yeah.
Let's grab a hot dog.
Yeah.
Let's kick back and popcorn. We're
Yeah.
gonna be in good hands because this guy's gonna
Sure.
take care of us."
Sure. That's cool.
One more question.
Yeah.
Talk about the responsibility of what you do
Mm.
and what comes with that.
That's a great question for him. The responsibility as an MC is energy management.
Mm.
So when we're on a microphone, right? Microphones work through vibrations. Everything is about your intention. So if you get on a microphone and you're thinking about yourself, you're wondering, okay, I hope I don't mess this word up. I hope I don't mess this word up. The audience feels that, right? Whether you're just focused on trying to sound good, the audience knows you're just focused on sounding good and not connecting with them. So the responsibility is to really let go of self and try to suspend ego for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to have ego in a job like this, right? It almost demands a little bit of that ego to say, I'm good enough to be on a camera and talking to it. But to suspend a little bit of that for a second and give your complete heart and trust to the audience is the responsibility. And the love that they give back, it's also a responsibility to continue to share that. So someone will come up and give me a high five and be like, "Nice job, man."
Yeah.
It's my responsibility to take that love that they just gave me and see a kid that goes, they're just looking at me. It's my responsibility to kneel down and shake that kid's hand and ask what their name is and introduce myself and say, "Hey, thank you for being here." And then when their parents like, "Oh man, thanks for stopping. Thank you for having the kid."
Yeah.
Right? I wouldn't be doing my job if it weren't for the parents having the kids and the kids having enough confidence or awe to just say hi.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's on us to share that experience with them. I mean, you all have experienced that where a young athlete comes up and you see the look in their eyes. They want to say hi. They want to grab the ball and they want to shoot it, and just like y'all can do. But sometimes it takes a little encouragement from us. So part of that responsibility is sharing some of that love. But on a more technical note, the responsibility is sponsor reads, right? Someone may say we have Let It Fly as a sponsor. If Let It Fly has a tag, the tag needs to be read. It needs to be read specifically the way it's written. There's also donors that need to be taken care of. So if you all walking donors around and you say, "Oh, we want you to meet D," I don't care if I'm eating. I don't care if I'm tying my shoe. I don't care if I just ripped my pants. I'm hopping out of my seat to give them a great experience because that's a part of that energy management that I was talking about.
That's awesome, man. Well, we really appreciate you coming on. I mean, obviously, you're great at what you do. That's why you keep getting these opportunities, man.
Dude,
so
I appreciate it.
Yeah, God bless you and continue to do what you do, man.
Thank you so much for having me, fellas. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. Well, DeWayne Taylor, everybody. That was really good. Good stuff there.
It was. I didn't think you get recruited for.
I had no idea.
And just not to hate, I used to hate public speaking classes. Oh my God, I couldn't do it. Especially my freshman year in college, moving to America my first time. And I was the new guy on campus, the new guy. Everybody was a freshman, but being international, barely speaking English, as I always say, and taking a public speaking class, and you got to get in front of everybody and talk.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
That was rough.
It's crazy how we play in front of 20,000 people, and that's just nothing. But then we have to talk in front of a class of 10 students.
You gotta give a presentation, and for 5 minutes, and it just
horrible. Horrible experience. But
and it's the longest 5 minutes of your life.
At least. I mean, we had to give one this past semester with our poster board. That was miserable. But anyway, transitioning into our next topic.
The
NBA draft obviously happened last night, and I mean, there were a few surprises, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone expected Victor to go number 1, and he did.
Yeah. What's your surprise number 1?
I gotta say, Cam Whitmore went all the way to 20.
Yeah.
Coming into the year, he was a projected top 5 pick.
Yeah.
And obviously, he, got injured at Villanova a little bit. And like we talked about, yesterday, maybe it wasn't the best fit for him for playing style and whatnot. But still, he's got all the physical tools and whatnot. So sliding all the way to 20 was kind of surprising. But what about you? What surprised you?
The Thompson twins, back-to-back top 5, first time in NBA history.
Yeah,
pretty impressive.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought Amon was going to get drafted in the top 5, but I didn't think that, I don't know how to say it, Azar.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting him to get drafted in the top 5 to go back-to-back too was pretty crazy. And then also like Anthony Black going 6, like obviously he's talented.
No, yeah.
I didn't know if he'd go number 6. And also like Orlando has so many point guards.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, I just feel like they draft a point guard every single year.
Yeah, they have Anthony Cole.
Yeah, Cole Anthony.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting how they use him.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to summer league. Obviously now that the draft is over, and that'll be in a few weeks.
Yeah, I think the first game it might be. I think it is by San Antonio against Charlotte, the 1 and 2.
Is Victor playing in summer league?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's gonna be. We'll see. We'll see.
Do you think Chet Holmgren will play in summer league? He's been injured, and he's been cleared, hasn't he?
Again, we'll see. Yeah. I don't think they're gonna make him play. Just so have him fresh for the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I know, but he's been hurt for the whole. He missed the whole year.
Yeah,
you want to get some game-like reps before the season.
I guess. But you also got to be ready for training camp and all that.
I know, but just like a few games ain't gonna kill him.
We'll see. A couple NBA Academy alumni representing the NBA Academy. Max Prosper actually went to the NBA Academy.
Did he actually?
Yeah. Him, and then Mojave King, 2nd round. I think it was pick 47. Got drafted too. So congrats to them. Just special connection since they went to the same place that I went to.
That's crazy. Well, I saw something yesterday that was like 5 out of the top 7 picks didn't go the college route. Victor obviously was overseas.
Yeah.
Like OT, G League. So
yeah, there's different paths now.
Obviously. Obviously. I guess another surprise would be Victor's teammate going number 7.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
I was reading yesterday that he wasn't really in draft boards or whatever until Victor was there.
Yeah, and then everyone came watching him.
Yeah.
Or came and watched Victor and then saw him, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Good for him, obviously.
What do you think of Grady's Dick's suit, the red one? Yeah, and he actually got drafted by the Toronto Raptors. That I also read.
Yeah, no. Well, I forget the movie that Wizard of Oz.
Okay,
you definitely.
I heard of it.
Yeah, you've probably never seen it, but Dorothy has like these like red slippers or whatever, and so that was kind of his thing because he's from Kansas and whatnot. I don't know. People be going crazy with their pregame or pre-draft fits.
Yeah,
I'm more of just a kind
of. What would you wear?
I don't know. To be fair, they're getting all this money, so
you gotta go
but
somewhere.
I have no idea. Some people be putting on some crazy stuff.
I guess we'll see next year. We'll see next year what Baylor Sham is gonna wear.
Yeah, all right. We'll see. We'll see about that one.
Okay, next topic. Tell the people what the Blue Jays are up to.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing, different day.
Yeah, that's
workouts.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've been talking about it forever, but we go to the Bahamas obviously in August. The summer's kind of going by fast, so I'm not.
It is.
It's almost July already.
It's probably because we don't have classes.
Speak for yourself. But it's already almost July. We get like a little break next week.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what are you doing next week?
Next week,
are you staying here?
No, I'm gonna
to
Memphis. I'm going to Memphis. Okay. See Desmond Bain and his little son's first birthday, so that's gonna be exciting.
That'll be cool. Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'll probably go home to Aurora.
To Aurora, Nebraska, the big city.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
But, yeah.
Well, I think that's all we got for you today. Thank you for joining us on the Let It Fly show. I'm sure we'll be back here tomorrow. Deuces.